Good morning, everyone. My name's Tony Solon, CEO of the Rockingham Quinana Chamber of Commerce. We're doing a series of interviews with some of our special members, and this morning I've got Adam Calginari here with me. Calginari, who is the Business Development Manager and Director here at the Shelford Group. And I'd just like to first of all start by asking Adam, how has this challenge of the COVID-19 affected the Shelford Group and how your staff are going?
It's a very good question, Tony. I suppose with COVID-19 arriving, it's really uncharted territory for most people. I know collectively our group met as a board and we sat down and talked about what the pros and cons were going to be, more so the cons, and how we were going to protect the company, and more importantly how we were going to protect people's jobs and all the stuff that came with it. Certainly when it first hit and you had the shutdown sort of stuff, and the government came out with their knee-jerk reactions of the stimulus and all that sort of stuff, it was encouraging. But I think as things settled and people invested more time and obviously into the actual COVID-19 process, people began to realise, yeah, it is dangerous, but fundamentally Australia as a group, and I know our working force were very responsive to what the government had asked, and actually made you proud to be an Australian, Tony, at this time, because obviously collectively as a society and a community, we've come together, and fortunately for us, we haven't had to put anyone off or stop anything going forward. We've obviously had many jobs put on pause, so it's been hard in that regard, but in the same breath, people are still sort of transacting in the marketplace to keep the market moving.
Brilliant. Adam, tell us a little bit about, I know Shelford's been in town here for 25 or so years.
Close, Tone, approaching 28.
Yeah, so and now you would be the biggest local business?
What, in terms of construction?
Commercial and residential?
Oh look, we've got a full-time employee base of 97 people here now, Tony, so obviously only 12, been with the company now 12 years. When I first arrived, I think there was 18 of us. So in terms of growth, it's certainly segmented over the period.
And here we are in the Taj Mahal of Dixon Road.
Well, the Death Star on Dixon, as people call it. But no, we're here, and look, this has obviously been a long-term aspiration thing for the company. Obviously, with this new premises, we've invested in the area because we believe in Rockingham as a community and what it offers down here.
So tell it, just while you're talking about that, tell us about some of the things that you guys are involved in, because I know that you've supported the Chamber of Commerce. I came to the company about 6-7 years ago when I first started the Chamber and asked you guys if you'd help out.
And did we?
And you did. You refurbished our new office down at the Gary Holland Centre.
That's all right. We're big on the barter system around here, Tony. You help us, we'll help you. So, look, we're pretty community focused as a company. Family, we've grown as a company in size, but we still carry a family value about ourselves. We do really pride ourselves on that, looking after our staff and all that sort of stuff. Obviously construction over the last 4 to 5 years has been very, 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 very tough, and there's been a lot of people go without, lose their jobs, but collectively our board chose to invest in our staff, and we pushed on through in terms of obviously keeping people gainfully employed, and we're still doing that now, even to the point where we've also mentored and obviously entered into a capability agreement with obviously John Griffin and Michael Walters to help get their business going, which is obviously the Boyer Group, which is now starting to get traction. That's been a 2 to 3 year project, and obviously now they've launched, which is good for them. So we're proud to be associated with that as well, as partners with those boys. And then vertical integration about the company itself. We've got to the point now where we obviously as an old school builder, we can still engage full-time employees in such as carpenters and glaziers and all these sort of stuff. So
and apprentices.
Yep. We've just engaged 3 more apprentices in the last 2 weeks. Obviously wanting to see the market go forward. So there's a myriad of trades that can be done through our company, obviously in-house.
So you've been very supportive of the community. I know that you sponsored a number of sporting groups.
Yep.
You've supported the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
What are some of the great or good points that you've found in dealings with the Chamber of Commerce, apart from dealing with me?
Oh, look, it's always a pleasure when you do call, Tony. You don't know whether the red button or put the green button, but collectively we've had our trials and tribulations, but you seem to get more green buttons than red, Tone. But the Chamber of Commerce very supportive. It's you guys are probably one of the better chambers getting around. pioneering people out onto the island. That was a big thing. That was a big feather in your guys' cap from about 3 or 4 years ago. Supporting local companies in local aspect in terms of local money being spent in the community. You guys have been key drivers of that, and obviously talking to the council and obviously recognising local businesses. And just to ring and look for support, and obviously the things that you drive through the chamber for the community. You do a really good job, Tony. I'm not pumping up your tyres, I'm just being honest.
Well, on that positive note, mate, thank you very much for spending your time with us, and we look forward to working together in the future.
Good on you, Tony. Thanks for coming down today. It's my pleasure to obviously share a coffee with you and enjoy your lunch at 12 o'clock.
And a great Dockers supporter too.
Big Dockers supporter. Go Freo.